What's up, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, doing a bit of a live reaction as I was streaming, and so I'm over on Unsleeved Media's set, to a bit of a hit piece, or a bit of garbage, I like to call it. Actually was sent to me, and I didn't know that your boy Zach from Diversity in Comics was going to be on this show. He didn't mention anything, I don't think. And I started to play this video, and then I saw it was him. And I thought, why not do the reaction live? I see their video has 7,000 views. Really hoping that when this video gets published, we'll beat them at that. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on.
News story of 2018 so far is the blockbuster success of Black Panther. It was a worldwide phenomenon. Plus, thousands of African-American kids packed movie theaters to finally see a superhero who looks like them.
That's right, because that's all black people care about is skin color, right? Jim, is that what you mean? They've never seen any other X-Men or anything from the Marvel Universe or anything from the DC Universe. They only care about other people. That sounds racist.
Now, Marvel and DC are putting diverse characters in the spotlight, and even tweaking old favorites. So I headed to San Diego Comic-Con to soak up the inclusive vibes. But I soon learned that for some, the good old days of comics are fading away.
So, comic book guy?
I am. Used to be.
Why do you say used to be?
Oh, I stopped reading it over the diversity issue.
Now, overall, they've been changing comic book characters a little too much.
There's a comic book tradition, in a way, how each character should look.
I think when they start making Superman gay and, Aquaman transgender, it's like, I don't go around and parade what I am, don't go around and parade what you are.
It's interesting that they have that laugh track, as if what this man and the other men have said is laughable. It's also interesting that he only seemed to interview white men. Now, I know that attendance at Comic-Con is probably strong in favor of the white man, but I happen to know for a fact that people agree who aren't all white men. That was, by the way, on purpose. And never forget that he probably interviewed thousands of people, hundreds of people probably, to get these few clips to make fun of people. Or paid actors, right?
There's an actual backlash against diversity in comic books. And the movement is led by a supervillain. He runs a YouTube channel broadcast from his secret lair / bedroom closet.
Today's video is going to be about Captain Marvel and how I hate her.
It was at this moment that I realized it was diversity in comics. And by the way, isn't it funny that they've taken time to pick on a YouTube channel with 60,000 subscribers? By the way, if you don't know who Diversity in Comics is, it's the guy that raised about $500,000 for an Indiegogo of his own comic book, known as Jawbreakers, drawn with Ethan Van Sciver, John Mayle, and Brett Smith. So it's interesting to see Jim Jefferies, big, LA comedian, punching down so far. It must be that Richard has struck a nerve here.
He's never shown his face on camera.
Plot twist. The boyish lesbian showrunner decided to reboot She-Ra as a boyish lesbian.
Who is this evil mastermind whining and complaining from the shadows?
Oh, yeah,
Yep, that checks out.
There he is, folks. By the way, is anyone else extraordinarily happy he looks like him and not like me? I'm very happy that Richard C. Meyer is a fit man, clean-shaven, and not a, giant beardo basement dweller like, myself, because your boy Zach is keeping it tight. And you know, if he was, I don't know, looked like me, what the narrative would be. Everyone would say, oh, look at that neckbeard. He's totally not woke. And, well, here we go.
Meet Richard Meyer. What are your thoughts on the current state of comic books?
Comics are kind of weirdly dying politics, specifically identity politics being shoved into everything. A character that used to look like a 1980s Dallas Cowboy cheerleader basically looks like me now.
We, of course, are rocking those A cups. Anything above a B cup, you hate women.
Ms. Marvel was introduced as a Pakistani-American Muslim, Riri Williams, who replaced Iron Man. If you don't like her, it's because you're racist or sexist, but probably both.
It would upset a racist.
I think it would.
And for Meyer, anyone who's...
Isn't that funny? So he basically confirms that he does think he's a racist and a sexist, simply because they agree on the same thing. So by Jim Jefferies' logic here, and obviously he's a titan of intellect, if, let's say, Adolf Hitler liked cherry pie and I liked cherry pie, well then, we're the same thing. And did you notice it was about 3 or 4 edits there, by the way, too?
Supports these changes is just a SJW, social justice warrior.
Black is your shield and woman is your sword.
I don't know, fucking swords and shields. It all sounds so childish. It was time to bring some adults into the conversation. I assembled an elite team of proud social justice warriors.
Loki, Harley Quinn, Green Lantern, Medusa.
Doug. Fantasy roleplay from the King of Queens, I assume. Richard Meyer, he believes that...
Notice that he's taking the opinion of one man and pitting 5 against him. This is all optics. It is, I mean, like, this is a new level of cringe. It's the Australian version of cringe, cringe, or something like that. They have, like, the funny music when Richard is talking, but then, you know, when he brings in his diversity crew, then, of course, everything gets real.
Diversity is ruining the comic book industry.
That's false.
Yeah.
That's false.
That's not his statement, is it, Jim Jefferies? He said that forced diversity and the reaction of comic pros to people who don't care for that is the problem, you fucking liar. Isn't it? I mean, how can people not see this as disingenuous as it really is? Jim Jefferies perceivably spent a significant amount of time with Richard C. Meyer from Diversity in Comics and then completely misrepresented his position on purpose. This is about making fun of us.
He's not been reading comics.
Why do you think some people can be so possessive of comic book characters?
I think once you make a connection with a character that you like a lot, it creates this sense of ownership.
If you see yourself in the character, it boosts your confidence. You don't feel like you're so alone in the world.
There's been a reduction of breasts. You know about this controversy?
We don't want to always see ourselves overly objectified just to satisfy someone's weird fantasy.
Okay.
So you agree that they have reduced them, right? Isn't that funny? Like, she doesn't deny that that's been an art direction, but instead parrots the SJW narrative.
But what about, like, if He-Man had a dad bod?
So?
I have the power over the temperature in this house. Do you think that politics can sometimes get in the way? Why can't we just have, like, a fun story about a superhero.
I think the thing with comics is they've always followed the trends of
Yes.
the political landscape. Take Superman. His whole thing is that he's an alien on a completely different planet and has adopted the country, America, as his home and is trying to fit in. That is the whole ethos.
No. I think that type of political storytelling is completely fine. That is a common gaslighting technique of those that would, they try to, well, I mean, comics have always been political. Sure. X-Men, for example, was about acceptance, was about, the trials and tribulations of being a mutant and the people that hated you for it. But the story kind of supplemented that. It was a part of the storyline. It wasn't the storyline. And what Jim Jefferies doesn't care to understand is it's gone from a byproduct of the story to the entire story. That reduction, that focusing for low IQ people is what's ruining comic books. There has never been anyone who would disagree that Marvel was about, the X-Men was about inclusion. But the problem is they've changed the story to just overtly be about that. And that is why we hate them.
I might be Superman. My SJWs are making good points, but I like finding common ground. Maybe we need some characters with traits that appeal to both sides. I brought a few ideas. Okay, a Batman, but he's Latino and he only protects gated communities. Fat Zimmerman. No? Okay. Okay, so how do you feel about this black Superman? Okay, a slightly less black Superman.
Yeah, no, that's actually better.
Black Panther's
Oh,
villain, Killmonger. But
that was a shit edit, by the way. That was a shit edit. They painted him as a racist, but the point is not that Richard has any problem with black people. I'm sure he served with them in the military.
now it's played by a woman, and the way that she attacks the Black Panther is by calling the cops while he's trying to barbecue.
Oh my God. The left cannot meme. They just cannot.
Hermit monger.
We found one. We found one.
These 5 people don't buy
Right,
comic
that
books,
might
by
fix
the way.
Characters, but Meyer and his crew aren't just fighting what's in comic books, they're also attacking women and people of color who make comic books.
Oh, get fucked. That is absolute bullshit. They always remove the other side of the narrative, right? Like, if you punch back, you're attacking them.
They're hiring people for the BuzzFeed. Look, we hired this overweight black woman. Isn't that exciting?
You have said that some women are sleeping their way to get into these positions?
So I did one video. It's a common thing for my enemies to bring up.
Literally sucked her way into the comic industry. Is a dumpster.
You called a woman a dumpster?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, it was a bad idea.
Even if you don't...
Isn't it funny? The guy's got thousands of videos, and they bring up the dark roast, which Richard has publicly disavowed, by the way.
I believe that you're a racist or homophobic or sexist. Isn't a fear of yours that you are attracting some people who are?
I don't really think about stuff like that much.
Right. Seems like you might want to start thinking about it, Richard. Other people are. What do you think of Richard Meyer?
He's a garbage person.
He's a you can say on this show.
Oh, okay. So, oh my fucking God. Okay, Jim Jefferies. It's okay for it's Richard Meyer attacking them, right? But them calling him a garbage person or Jim Jefferies calling him a cunt is somehow woke.
Look, clearly Richard's upset. He can no longer pick up any comic book and instantly relate to the characters he sees. And that's a real feeling, because it's how women and minority groups have felt their entire lives. Wake the f*** up, Richard. The characters you don't like aren't written for you.
Oh, imagine my shock. They hit him with the god dang, it's not for you. Great. Superman isn't for you then. If you want your characters to look like you, go read Black Panther. Oops, don't like it the other way around, do you, Jim Jefferies?
You know what? I think I like this better how we started.
What a cunt.